Listen slowly, not with your ears alone, but with your heart. This is not a prediction. This is not a promise of the unseen. This is not certainty. Only Allah knows what is written. Every soul has a path. Every heart has a journey. Every life unfolds in a rhythm only Allah fully understands. And yet, sometimes reminders arrive at the exact moment a heart becomes ready to notice. Not a moment earlier, not a moment later. Why is that? Because the heart does not awaken on command. It awakens when it is ready. Why are you here right now? You didn't click this by accident. Maybe you were scrolling without intention. Maybe you were tired, distracted, or quietly overwhelmed. Maybe you were searching for something you couldn't explain in words. Maybe your finger paused for no clear reason. Or maybe your heart quietly whispered, "Stop here." Ask yourself gently, without pressure. Why now? Why these words? Why this moment? What inside you has been asking for stillness, but you've been too busy to listen. Sometimes the heart gets tired before the body does. Sometimes the soul needs attention before life makes sense again. Do you feel it? That subtle tightness in your chest, that silent restlessness, that feeling that something within you wants change, even if you don't know what kind. This is not prophecy. This is awareness. It is the moment the heart begins waking up, the moment you realize that life cannot continue on autopilot forever. Not because something dramatic is guaranteed to happen, but because something meaningful is ready to begin inside you. And that beginning does not require noise. It requires honesty. Allah does not awaken a heart without wisdom. He does not stir discomfort without purpose. He does not remind a servant unless mercy is nearby. Sometimes the signs are loud, but most of the time they are quiet. A conversation that seems ordinary yet follows you all day. A delay that quietly teaches patience. A sudden urge to pray after a long absence. A deep desire to repent without fear. A moment where your soul whispers, "Enough, it's time." These are not coincidences. These are invitations. Invitations to slow down. Invitations to return. Invitations to realign. Have you ever noticed something about life? Moments of doubt often come right before clarity. Moments of confusion often come right before understanding. Moments of heaviness often come right before relief. This is not punishment. This is preparation. Before growth comes pressure. Before healing comes awareness. Before transformation comes discomfort. Your heart is not being punished. Your heart is being shaped. What feels heavy now may one day feel meaningful. What feels confusing now may later feel necessary. Life is not about the event, it's about the becoming. Most people wait for something external to change. A breakthrough, an answer, a sign, a miracle. But life rarely changes from the outside first. Most of the time, Allah changes you first. Your perspective, your patience, your sincerity, your awareness. Because when the heart changes, everything changes. The same life can feel unbearable or meaningful depending on the heart that carries it. Close your eyes for a moment. Think of a moment that changed your life. Not something dramatic, not something everyone noticed, something small. A sentence someone said, a quiet realization late at night, a single decision you almost didn't make, a moment of courage, a moment of humility. At the time, it felt ordinary, but later you realized that moment was a doorway. This is how Allah often works, not with thunder, not with spectacle, but with whispers. The three pillars that prepare the heart. 1. Purify your intention. Ask not, when will Allah give me what I want? Ask instead, how can I become closer to Allah no matter what happens? Because intention is everything. When intention is pure, waiting becomes worship. Delay becomes wisdom. Difficulty becomes meaning. Ask yourself honestly, what do I truly want? Comfort or closeness? Control or trust? Answers or alignment? 2. Guard your heart. Your heart is not a storage room for everything. Your heart is sacred ground. Ask yourself without judgment, what have I allowed inside my heart that dims its light? What distractions quietly drain my soul? Who or what pulls me away from remembrance? Protect your heart like a flame in the wind, not with harshness but with care, because a distracted heart cannot hear divine whispers. 3. Stay connected through dua. Dua is never wasted. Sometimes dua changes outcomes. Sometimes dua changes timelines. Sometimes dua changes you. But dua always matters. Speak to Allah, not in perfect words, not in poetic phrases, just honestly. Tell Him what you fear. Tell Him what you hope. Tell Him what you regret. Tell Him what you love. Even silence can be dua when the heart is sincere, the truth most people miss. Allah does not always remove the storm. Sometimes He strengthens the sailor. Allah does not always change the road. Sometimes He reshapes the traveler. Allah does not always grant immediately. Sometimes He grows capacity first. You are not behind. You are becoming. Right now, something unseen may be happening. Not outside you, inside you. Your awareness is sharpening. Your sensitivity is deepening. Your sincerity is growing. You may not feel dramatic change, but subtle change is the most powerful kind, because subtle change lasts. Pay attention to whispers. A thought telling you to forgive, a nudge to apologize, a moment urging you to pause, a feeling inviting you to begin again. These moments rarely shout. They gently knock. Most people ignore them, not because they are unimportant, but because they are quiet. Will you listen this time? You are not here by mistake. Not because this message controls destiny, not because this moment guarantees anything, but because Allah guides hearts toward reminders when He wills. Sometimes reminders arrive to warn, sometimes to comfort, sometimes to awaken, sometimes to protect. This may be one of those moments. Prepare yourself, not for a miracle, not for a dramatic shift, not for a promised event. Prepare for sincerity, prepare for patience, prepare for obedience. Because the most powerful change is not what happens to you. It is who you become. Take a slow breath, let your shoulders drop, let your mind soften, and say quietly, I trust Allah's timing, and I am ready to obey Him no matter what He decrees. Say it again, slower, let it settle into your chest. This is not resignation. This is strength. Faith is not knowing what will happen. Faith is knowing who is in control. Faith is not predicting outcomes. Faith is surrendering timelines. Faith is not demanding answers. Faith is walking forward without them. This is courage. This is peace. This is freedom. When intention becomes sincere, even delay feels meaningful. When the heart becomes guarded, even silence feels safe. When dua becomes consistent, even waiting feels sacred. This is not weakness. This is maturity. This is spiritual adulthood. Sometimes nothing changes outwardly. Your job stays the same. Your situation stays the same. Your environment stays the same. But inwardly, everything changes. Perspective shifts, hope rises, clarity appears, peace settles. And that is often the real miracle. Never underestimate the power of one sincere prayer, one honest apology, one moment of restraint, one decision to return, one choice to trust. These moments rarely trend, but they transform lives. Pause, breathe, ask yourself, what is my heart asking for right now? Not success, not recognition, not certainty, but truth, stillness, direction, closeness. And that is already a gift. Remember this, Allah sees your intention. Allah hears your whispers. Allah knows your struggles. Allah counts your patience. Nothing sincere is wasted. Nothing heartfelt is ignored. Nothing hidden is forgotten. So walk forward gently, not chasing certainty, not demanding outcomes, but carrying trust. Because the heart that learns to trust is the heart that eventually understands. And the heart that becomes ready will always recognize what is written.